Alright, so I'm actually recording this video for an SIK guy and a Spore guy, a couple of buddies of mine. Because this game is coming to consoles and they're console players. I mean, they're not all hardcore and shit, they got lives and families and whatnot. Shit none of you nerds know nothing about. But, so when you launch the game, you see these. These are all the different scenarios. And each scenario has slightly different gameplay, these two being PvP based and everything else being PvE. Manibus was the first main one to launch with the game, and then they released The Way of Winter to expand the story, and then The Endless Dreams came out. The Deviation, Survive, Capture, and Preserve is nothing like the other scenarios. It's really kind of its own thing. And I'm not even going to get into that because you'd have to know the parameters of the game and variables of what I'm even talking about to understand what the fuck it is I'm talking about. So let's skip that and go straight to it. This is the person that took this picture that they use as a loading screen. Oh, my computer loads fast. So this is my base, right? So I'm just going to explain what's going on in my base rather than trying to explain the whole fucking game. For starters, you've got furnaces that you can use to, well, smelt. And up here in the top right corner, you can see what's called, crap, what are they called? Brain fart. Tech specializations. So that means I had to find somebody on the server who had a character with all 4 of the furnace perks so that I could have them come to my base and build me 6 furnaces that have all the perks. These perks really come to your benefit, like this right here, crafting time is reduced by 50%, but the yield is increased by 100%, meaning you get double. And this one consumes less power because there is a limit to how many generators you can have on one territory. This right here, the precision refining, just makes it the smelt time and resource consumption even less, so you get more quicker. And this one doubles the yield for aluminum and tungsten ingots, which is kind of required almost, you know. Over here, you've got a disassembly bench, which is where you bring the stuff that you loot to turn into craft, you know, resources you can craft with. As you can see, this too has all the perks it can have. Then you got your advanced gear bench. This too has the perk that it can have. Then you have these crafting tables, which this too has all the extra perks you can have, doubling how many healing things you produce, and it can also, hello Buffalo, and it can also increase how much ammo you craft. You know, kind of damn near essential. And then you got this one over here, which I have the perk for, just not the mimetic points. Here is where I keep some of my animals. I can have 6 on my territory at a time. Here's the trough that they eat from. When they breed, their babies get deposited into here. And the point of this is trying to get the best creatures you can. So for example, you can see all 3s here. So this guy has a high chance to produce the rarest form of milk. He produces it quicker. And I can also get Starfall inversion and Frostfall meat when he runs out of breeding chances and I finally slaughter him. With these rabbits, same thing. They come with these. These are what's important. When they run out of breeding chances and I slaughter them one day, they'll give me special furs that are fairly rare. So over here, we got my looks like those are all done. Over here is like kind of like my little food area, right? This one is non-perishable stuff that came out with a Shefosaurus Rex buff of 30% or above. And then down here is where I kind of just store trash and stuff waiting to spoil, and every now and then I have to pretty much dump that crap somewhere on the map or offer it to other people for free, because when you have so much of it, you really can't even sell it. Here's all my cooking ingredients that are non-perishable that'll never go bad on me. So you got to keep a constant supply of those coming in. Looks like I'm really running low on sugar, so I'm gonna have to start keeping up with that more. But yeah, you got the corn oil, peppercorns, butter, cheese from the dairy, pickles, caviar from fish eggs, salt, you know. There's so many different seeds and types of fertilizers in the game, so that way you can grow tons of stuff. And then you have a chance of obtaining deviated crops, which is what these are. So I keep a crate of those around as well. Got a refrigerator here, water filter because it purifies the water, dumps it in this tank here, and the rest of it goes into this. This is a very specific gardening build and designed to max out how many crops I can have going off of just one little irrigation system. And because it has no light, I can also grow what's called contaminated crops here. Heading on down to the first floor. This is my generator room. If you look in the top left corner there where it says large biomass generator, max output 37 watts, underneath it you can see there's 2 perks, which means all these generators have the max amount of perks they can have. And I also met somebody that had 2 additional electrician perks that allowed them to place 2 additional generators at my base, which is why I have 5 instead of the normal maximum of 6. So, you know, it's kind of that forced interaction with other players, but it's not that bad when you're playing in a small group. These are what's called deviation tanks. You can have a maximum of 20 of them out in each territory, and different deviations do different things. Just for example, this electric eel right here floats above one of the generators and makes it crank out buku energy. Chephosaurus Rex over here, when you're cooking a dish, he'll come over and help you cook that shit and give it a significant buff. This guy's electric orb, he produces a material that allows you to craft a different material called the lightning orb that lets you boost the damage of basically territory items. So like when you're at a Prime War, you can throw it down to boost all the Gatling turrets. But yeah, it's stuff you wouldn't know about. Why can't I move? Oh, did we fuse together? Yeah, I can't move. Okay. Just restart that. Even though you can go through walls and stuff, I feel like there's still a observer entity that can get stuck. H37 here, all he does is bring resources to you for free based on what his level is. What is in there? He's gathering stuff. I think that's where my bunny is supposed to be, my lethal rabbit. He goes around your territory. There he is, the Hitman bunny. You see he's got the little Hitman logo. Got his nice little fucking suit. Got his knife out, gutting the fucking deer. Yeah, they go around hunting animals and gathering their meats for you. Got a bunny right here. Same thing, only this bunny is a more normalized bunny. He does seeds and fruits and shit. These are what's called grow shrooms. You need these if you're doing a gardening build like this because they can just phase in wherever they want and do the planting for you. Like, see that guy? See how his head's halfway in the ceiling? Because if you were trying to manually plant in here, you'd be screwed. There's no way you're doing all that. So you put seeds in them and the fertilizer you want them to use, and they do the planting for you. More H37s because they provide, raw materials. This one over here is a hydronaut fish. What he does is increase the efficiency of this here, and he also goes fishing for you. So he'll bring back fish specifically. This guy here increases the crafting time of crafting stations. This guy here increases your other deviations moods. Same with this one. Another H37. This guy specifically for the animals and breeding them and keeping them healthy, and this guy once again increases just how often your guys are out. This one is a combat deviation, so I summon it when I'm fighting. Just to continue this little tour here. Oh, see, there he is. He's making this work more efficiently, but he's literally just a fish in a little hydronaut suit. Pretty cool, right? Outside, these are all pumps. I placed as many as I could. All of these are pumping crude oil. The crude oil goes into the large refinery. The large refineries feed them to one large refinery, which turns them into what's called premium barreled fuel. So like barreled oil becomes gasoline, goes from gasoline to premium fuel, and is automatically deposited in there. I also still have just one of these, and that's to make sure that this one's set to water, not oil, because I am parked at an oil field. I'll show you in a second. Parked at an oil field here. You have to be at an oil field. Yeah, you can see the black. You have to be in an oil field to pump oil. You can't pump it from anywhere in the map. This pumps water to this pump, which this just works on gravity. So if you plug in something above it, then it's going to pump it that way. If you plug it into something below it, it's going to suck from that direction. But yeah, so that's the basic gist of the base. Out here, you can see something called Morphic Biomechanical Crates. This is something from the Gardener subclass, because there's 3 subclasses in the game. One of the subclasses is the Chef, which allows you to have 2 food buffs on at the same time, which is why it's my favorite. And you can also do what's called creative cooking to kind of make custom dishes with the different ingredients. You can kind of mix and match rather than specifically sticking to the recipes that you discover in the game. The Gardener is able to make those biomechanical crates, which are OP. And then you have the Beastmaster. The Beastmaster is able to summon creatures to come fight with him on the battlefield. Bears, wolves, fucking flamingos. I've seen battle flamingos, dude. You don't want to fuck with them. This unit right here allows you to fuse deviations into each other, so you can try and get multiple traits that are really good onto the same guy. Given a quick, just to kind of show here, the deviations see no deviation traits, and then you go to the next one. This one has stable energy, increases the max limit for their energy. No deviation traits here. You can see this guy's got workaholic and worn out. That's what's no more traits, because a lot of these I recently swapped out with a different account. So here we go, growing pains. So there's different little traits that you can get on your deviations. 1+ is a big one, but yeah, there's just like different little things you can get on your deviations. Also, these ratings, the max is 5. And, once again, another 1+, because I'm really into the 1+s. Cheer up 3 on that guy, nothing on that one. This guy's got Moonlight Assault on him, makes him stronger at night. But that's, that's basically a little bit of information going on with that. Oh, there's him, he's just soaking in some sun. Going outside here. I can't access these because I'm on a Chef, not a Gardener, but this kind of gives credence to why they don't ban you over having multiple accounts. They will ban you if you sit around trying to block roadways or just deny territories to other people. So if you set up a bunch of blank territories that aren't doing a damn thing and it's blocking everybody else from the oil field, yeah, you're probably going to get in trouble for that. Also, like offensive signs or imagery, you definitely don't want to be putting that type of stuff on display. That's just a shortcut to the Shadow Realm. But each one of these, if you look closely, you can see that, like, this one has like some big spiky crops hanging off of it. This one's got a couple of doodads looking there. I mean, they're tomatoes. This one's got little honeysuckle blossoms. This one's got mushrooms. That's because when you put the plant in and then you graft the biomechanical piece to it, what happens is this becomes a plant that no longer needs watered, no longer needs sun, and once a day, like once per 24 hours, well, actually, it does it constantly, but once per 24 hours, it will make 100 seeds, 100 of whatever crop is in there, and even some deviated versions for you. So if you manage to get a couple of these together, you can almost forego needing a garden whatsoever. Very useful. Very much a reason why you should have more than one toon. Like more than one character on the same account. You can see there's a boatload more of them going on over here. And this is what you would call just a typical alt base. Coming over here. And you can see even more animals. These guys are cranking out dream fused wool and golden wool as well as their milk. And then the rest of this base you can see once again. Got the pumps going. Pumps feeding all of these feeding that, going into this water tank here. So you can see it's looking like I'm gonna have to get rid of 1,000 fuel here soon, so there's more space for more of the barreled premium. Got the biomass generators that are max perked out once again. And this base, since it's an alt base, there's no crafting deviations or anything like that here. There's actually these guys, Busy Bees, which they just increase the chance of you getting mutated crops. Plenty of food workers over here, just out there hunting all the animals all around the place. Mood improver, but for the most part, this is just a resource production base. So all these grow shrooms, they've all got what they've got in terms of what they're trying to plant to make sure that this particular farm just keeps going. You know, I mean, I don't like not log on for weeks at a time, but ultimately, because if you don't log in for a week, your base is gone. But not gone, it just goes into storage and you have to put it back down. But if somebody else takes the spot you're in, yeah, your base is gone. But realistically, I cannot log in for a couple of days, and these guys won't run out of seeds between the lot of them. More animals, like I said, for breeding, crafting, whatnot.
What's that sound? That's right, it's
And that is how you set yourself up in Once Human to have, you know, to essentially succeed. If you go into the online trading, you can see what other people are selling. You can also sell stuff yourself. I'm not going to reveal what I'm selling, but there's that. When you hit M, look at the map here. This is the entire explorable map. There's people, you know, bases and stuff all over the place, all up and down this thing. And there's the Prime War zones, which is something that you guys will get to discover on your own. The territories that you see around the map here, you can explore them. Like this one here, you can see I've completed it, but this one here, you can see I have not located the mystical crate yet. So I need to, you know, get over there and do that at some point. Just haven't been rushing it with this particular guy. I usually grind dungeons with him. Dungeons are right here. They're called securement silos. There's also the monoliths, where you do just a straight up boss fight. And you can see right there the challenge rewards underneath it tell you what type of rewards this challenge grants you. So that target mark, like the target sign, that's what's called the bullseye mods. And then the one next to it where you see two clips, that's Fast Gunner. The one to the right where it looks like a little mobile turret in a circle, that's Fortress Warfare, which is a different type of those are the elemental damages I was telling you about. You can see this guy here does burn mods and Frost Vortex. If we go over here, you can see this guy does bounce and shrapnel based mods, because there are guns in the game that that have different suffix abilities. You can see weapon feature, unstable bomber. Weapon feature, fast gunner. Weapon feature, unstable bomber. Weapon feature, bullseye. There's just different things, you know, Fortress Warfare, Frost Vortex, Power Surge, which is electrical damage, burn. There's just so many different things. Now, as you're playing through the game, you'll notice that I got a bunch of little stars on these. The more stars, the stronger they are. Those don't apply to all scenarios, but the more stars, typically, the stronger they are. And the way you get these is by just playing the game, going from scenario to scenario, and slowly replenishing or gaining more fragments from the, you know, from those particular scenarios to infuse into the weapons. Here, I'll show you an example. Right click it. Oh, I guess infuse. Why? Okay, they've changed that. All right, that just got updated. They're trying to, at the same time that, oh, see, look, there's somebody else's base right over here. Looks like the guy's got some mining platforms out. I don't know why the fuck he wastes electricity on that, but you can see the base clearly isn't loaded in. But well, partially floating base, don't do partially floating bases. That's not a good look. But you can see got a neighbor over there. Well, I mean, I got neighbors up there, and I got neighbors over there too. But that guy didn't know he was over there. Ah, fell off. But the way you get more blueprints and you get more guns and such is with this machine right here, which is unfortunately disabled because the April 23rd update will bring it back. So that's oh, look, they're crapping. So that's neither here nor there, but that is essentially a bit of the game. Oh, there's the Rebecca for the other base. She's a mood booster. But that is the introductory gist to Once Human. I didn't cover any of the too advanced of topics like how you breed the animals, how you combine deviations to get better deviations, and I didn't get into the blueprints at all because it looks like they're working with that. But I will say one thing a lot of people like to do is they'll just stack up multiple. Someone just take a picture of me? I just heard a camera shutter. Whatever. Oh, there he is. He's fishing. Way to go, boy. But someone just took a picture of me. I think I'm tripping out. Oh, wait. No. I think that was him because of his idle animation. Wait. Yep, there it is. Click. Anyways. A lot of people will sit around, oh wait, I guess I shouldn't even teach that because that mechanic is gone. So why would I teach that mechanic? But they're basically just trying to subsume what was a bunch of other mechanics for a bunch of other specialized things, all down into simplified single resource pools that will be applied to multiple things within that same sector. So the weapons, the weapon crafting, and the weapon enhancing appears to all be going to Starcrum now. Which, if I'd have known that, I would have used all my fragments before they switched us over. However, the last thing I will show you is the Harvester's Market, because I showed you the in-game store, or the in-menu store, where you can just list items all willy-nilly. But one thing that is quite cool is called the Harvester's Market. You always want to go to World 1 or 2 for the Harvester's Market to see the most vendors. But this is where people come to try and sell their goods, you know, to try and make those resources. So here, that's got to be a Teen Titans reference. So here, you can see that people have done that, and the reason the developer did that is because it used to be this. You used to have to unlock the truck, and then you would build on top of the truck and have your your vendors out there, and people would set them up outside of Blackfell and stuff like that. Well, some buddies of mine, we had an idea, and it was funny because the first season we did it, someone else did it as well, which is a dedicated alt account just to being a territory that people shop at. So we built the territory, and then everyone in our hive came to set up their vendors so they could sell there. And the developers saw that, and they're like, hey, the players are circumventing a clear issue in the game. And that's when they made the Harvester's Market. So you can build your vending machines only on these platforms. And, they're not rendered in, but those platforms are all covered in vending machines. Luckily, this North America server is fairly active. So, that is a rough introduction to Once Human. If you're a new player and you've been thinking about getting into this game, you can go ahead and use this as just a simple foundational baseline as to what to expect in this game. But other than that, doodles.